Good morning and welcome back on this very early but beautiful morning. The sun just came up and today I'm gonna take you again with me while I prep some things for us for the week. This week is actually a little bit easier. It's not quite as busy as it was last week, but I did enjoy the meal prep things last week so much, so we are gonna do another round of that. And I have a little list here of things that I want to do, and on this list is zucchini bread, tortilla wraps, we have a cucumber avocado salad, egg bites with cheese for snacks. I want to also make some stuffed paprikas as a whole like dinner for us. And then I want to do some smoked chicken potato salad. And if you're new here, my name is Kristen. And if you're not, then thank you so much for joining back in today. It's great to have you here. And I am actually facing a little bit of a problem when it comes to these items that I want to prepare. And that is that I didn't get the smoked chicken from our local butcher. They were all out, and I think they have been out for the past like 2 to 3 weeks. So I couldn't get my hands on it. And then also I'm missing like a pack of minced meat. So what I was thinking is that I will actually wait until the shops open, and then I will try to go check again for those items today. So I've got my washed zucchini here, and we're gonna use my beloved grater. I think it will make this a whole lot easier. And this zucchini is a zucchini I bought from the grocery store, and it was in my fridge for about, I don't know, 2 weeks almost. It was completely sealed, but when I have zucchinis from the garden in the summer, they never last that long, no matter how I store them, which is usually why I cook with them right away or I freeze them. And to be honest, I have never had zucchini bread before. I don't know, it's not a big thing here where I live, but if this is good, then I definitely know what I'm gonna do with my zucchinis in the summer. And I also read that you can pre-grate your zucchinis and then freeze them, so you can have garden fresh zucchini bread in the winter. And usually I prep some sourdoughs on the weekend, but I did not do that because we still have kind of a lot of sandwich bread. And since I wanted to really use the zucchini up because it has been in my fridge so long, I'm not gonna go ahead and make a sourdough because then we have so much bread to go through. And I initially thought that I want to make the zucchini bread low carb, but since I have never tried this before, I don't know if that's a good idea. So I think we're just gonna go with the regular recipe, and then we see if and what I would want to tweak. And it is so nice with the sun in the back here. Amazing. If you are new here, you might not know this, but I live in Estonia, and in the winter we get quite a few sun here, so every ray of sunshine is always highly appreciated. And we're actually supposed to get plus temperatures next week, which I am so excited about because that means spring is coming. Let's continue with our zucchini bread. I think I'm gonna use this big mixing bowl. And then I have to check the recipe. Okay, so there is one thing about this recipe that I'm not so sure about, and that is that it seems to be more of a like sweet zucchini bread. It has cinnamon in it and vanilla and quite a bit of sugar, so I actually wanted to have more of a savory zucchini bread. I'll just put a little bit less sugar, and I will leave the cinnamon and the vanilla out. I don't know, when I think about zucchini bread, I kind of think more about savory, or at least like neutral flavored. So this is what we're gonna go with right now. I don't feel comfortable having like a sweet zucchini bread as my first zucchini bread. I don't know if I would like that because I'm also not very sure about the texture, but if I'm gonna like the texture of this, then I will definitely try the sweet zucchini bread at some point. And the original recipe requires 1.5 cups of white sugar, but I will go and use only 1/8 of a cup. The birds are going wild on my windowsill again. Then we use 1 teaspoon of salt. Let me show you the birds. Do you see them? They're going crazy. We're gonna mix this up just a little bit. Then we are gonna add our zucchini. I have not looked up the steps on how to do this. I'm just doing it after my feeling. Sometimes I follow a recipe to the T, but a lot of times I will just do it on how it feels logical to me, because I love to experiment with recipes quite a bit. Okay, so the recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup, and I just asked Alexa to kind of tell me the measurements in milliliters, and it's 180 milliliters, which seems quite a lot. I don't know if I will go with that much, honestly. I think maybe 80 is fine already, because I don't want this to taste greasy. Two cups of all-purpose flour. I almost forgot the baking soda, so we gotta add that right now. We're gonna use one. It says 2 teaspoons in the recipe. I don't know if that's kind of a lot, but let's go with 2. And then we need another cup of flour. I think texture-wise, this will probably be similar to... I just made a mess here. It's fine. That's why you should wear an apron. So what I was gonna say is that texture-wise, I think this is gonna be similar to banana bread, which I love. Just when I process or cook with zucchini, it's usually savory. That's why I probably have it categorized in my head under savory foods. Let's see, it's kind of thick. I'll just add a teeny tiny amount of water. 1/8 of a cup that was. Yeah, I think that's the right consistency. Okay, now I am really excited for this. Before I fill this batter in a pan, my oven is preheating right now. I will take a moment to refill my flour container here. I made a huge mess here with the flour, so we're gonna take a second to clean that up. And we're gonna use baking paper this time, so not my usual like baking slings that I have. And I don't know if I can bake all of this dough in one sitting, or I will have to make 2 loaves. I think one might actually fit, because this baking tray that I have here, it's not the biggest. And I definitely want to get more like bigger baking trays for making actual loaves. This is more of like a cake tray anyway. So these are all the potatoes I have left. I will peel them first and then wash them. These are kind of small-ish. I used up the bigger ones first. We had some cheesy air fryer potatoes yesterday for dinner, and they were so incredible. If you have watched any of my previous videos, then you know that we make these air fryer potatoes at least once a week. Our oven has an air fryer function, so I don't have like a separate air fryer, but we use our oven for that, and they turn out so incredible every single time. And yesterday we added some cheese, which I think we have not done before, and it was just so good. I will do that definitely again. Okay, we can put our zucchini loaf in the oven, and then after those 30 minutes have passed, I will check on it and see if it needs any more. The original recipe says it takes 1 hour, but we'll see, because my recipe is a little bit different now. And I also was actually able to place a grocery order, which I am very happy about, that I don't have to leave the house today. I'm really feeling kind of sicklish. But I just want to get these projects done today. It's going to make the rest of the week a lot easier. But I was able to order my smoked chicken, not from the butchery place directly, but from the grocery store. But I'm happy to get my hands on it at all, because it has been sold out for the past 2 to 3 weeks, and I just love this. So if you have the possibility to get smoked chicken somewhere where you live, definitely go for it and try the salad that I'm making today. I can't wait for summer. We have this salad in the summer quite often. And I also ordered the minced meat from the butchery, and some potatoes and some ginger, and just a few little other grocery items. I am really happy that I do not have to leave the house today. We're gonna wash and cut these now, and then we'll see if we need more potatoes, because I ordered some more, and if we do, then I will wait with cooking these. And the way I like my potatoes for the potato salad is cubed up, so that's what we're gonna do. And they cook pretty fast that way, so you have to be careful not to overcook them. Okay, I can see already that we do not have enough potatoes for the volume that I would like. So I am gonna wait until the delivery comes in the afternoon, and we will cut some more potatoes and then cook them. Okay, but we're gonna put some water on these just so they don't oxidize. So while the zucchini bread is baking, we are gonna do our tortilla wraps. And for that we need 1/3 of a cup of lard. Just gonna measure it in this cup here. I don't have lard at home, but I'm gonna use tallow. I used to not like the taste of tallow in the beginning, but now I love it. I think even if you cook with it, it gives everything you do just such a nice like umami flavor. So that should be about 1/3 of a cup. Now we're gonna put this in here and let it melt on the stove. And in the meanwhile, while that is melting, we can measure out the rest of our ingredients. 3 cups of all-purpose flour. But I think I'm actually gonna use 1 cup of whole wheat flour, so this has some more flavor. If you watched my last video, you know when I made the sandwich bread, I forgot to add the all-purpose flour, so I don't want to make the same mistake again, only the other way around. That's 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Then we need a teaspoon of salt. And we need 1 cup of warm water, and I'm just gonna give it to my lard here. Plus we need a teaspoon of baking powder. Here's my baking powder. I really need to put this in a container. 1 teaspoon. I will just mix our dry ingredients together. And then here are our wet ingredients. And we'll just mix it in. Like, I will stir it in. As you know, I do not possess a dough hook. I've been looking some up on Amazon, but I'm not sure. So if you have any brand recommendation, please let me know. Also for bread knives, I feel like I need a really good bread knife. Because the one I have, yes, it cuts, but it's kind of a hassle to cut the bread with it. It was a really cheap knife, like €5. The birds are going crazy again. And I can start to smell the zucchini bread, which smells amazing. And I like to knead my dough mostly on my countertop. I feel like it's a lot easier than trying to knead it in a bowl. I do not have a stand mixer just because they take up so much space, and the kitchen in our house is kind of small, so I don't want to sacrifice that space. Technically I could store it downstairs in our cellar, but then I would have to go down every time I need it. And so until we are gonna buy a bigger house, I will be fine kneading all my doughs by hand. I think it's actually an art form, and to me it's also meditative. I don't know. I just think it's really calming and relaxing. And so while the zucchini bread is still baking, I have covered it with a little bit of aluminum foil because I didn't want it to get too dark. We are gonna cook some rice because we will need that for our stuffed peppers, and also some to eat on the side. And I'm gonna do, I think, a cup of this. And then we'll do 1, 2.5 cups of water. Because brown rice usually takes a lot longer to cook than your regular like white rice. I think on the package it said that this will take about 25 to 30 minutes. So I'll put my timer on. As soon as the zucchini bread is out of the oven, we can go ahead and put the egg bites in. So that's what we're gonna do. And we are also gonna put some grated cheese into them. So I'll do 1. I want these as a good protein snack throughout the week. We really enjoyed the hard-boiled eggs last week, but I feel like if I would make them this week, it would be like very repetitive, and I would like something different, and I think egg bites are a good option because I need to use these up anyway. Look how round this egg is. It's like a golf ball or something. Very funny. I think I'm gonna add 1 or 2 more. Ooh, that's the zucchini bread. Maybe these large ones. Let's see the zucchini bread. Oh, it smells amazing. Wow. Let me just get my tester and see if it's cooked through. Oh, I feel like it needs a little bit more. I don't know if you can see, but there is something on here. I will cover this and we'll put it back in the oven for another, I feel like 5 minutes will be okay. Ooh, but what I have tasted from this little tester here, it tastes amazing. I cannot believe that I have not tried zucchini bread before. But like I said, it's not a huge thing here. But I will be definitely doing this again this summer. So I had to charge my camera a little bit. And while that was charging, I was actually able to take out the zucchini bread. And then also, our rice is done. Ooh, it's really hot. I almost burned myself. Don't do that. I'm gonna use this here. I just covered it with this plate because I do not have a lid for this pot. But it is fully cooked through now. I will just let the residual water steam off a little bit. It smells pretty good. Let's see. Oh, it comes out so nicely. Okay. And we'll put this onto our cooling rack. Doesn't this look amazing? I am really excited to try this. It just looks so appetizing right now. But I do have the oven still going, so I want to finish these egg bites. And I'm going to add some salt to them. About, I don't know, half a tablespoon. And we're also going to add some crushed pepper. Like half a tablespoon as well. Oops, fill in already. Then we're going to add some of this cheese that I grated last week. And we have like 1 1/4 of a container of that left. We haven't used a ton of it last week. So I'm gonna add that 1/4 of a container and then probably about 1.5 full hands full of more cheese. And I will use this like sauce spoon to fill these containers. Oh, this is actually a double container. Okay, let me just take this off. Okay. So again, I will use this sauce spoon to fill these. It fell in already. Definitely have to do a deep clean here later. I will just carry on right now. I don't have the nerve to clean that now and then start over, just for it to fall in again. And actually, I think I will get out one of my oven trays as well, so I can put them directly on there, because these are not so easy to move. I should have a sauce spoon with a longer handle that would make it much easier, so it wouldn't fall in. I will just clean everything really well afterwards. I could pour it in the containers also, because this has like this pour-in mouth, but I'm afraid that I will make an even bigger mess that way. Maybe on the last one here we can try. Oh, actually that works so much better. I will be only pouring them next time. That is a lot better. Well, lesson learned. By the way, you only always see this clean area, but this is how my kitchen currently looks. I try to do dishes in between so it doesn't get to a really bad point. But, you know, if you have a small kitchen and you're doing a bunch of projects at once, that is what you have to deal with. And now our egg bites will go in. And I think they need about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna take this and let it cool off over here. I have the window open on this beautiful day just to let fresh air in. Our egg bites are done. They've puffed up. Let's see, done I think. Yeah, they are done. Ooh, these look really good. I want to try one, but they need to cool down before we can try one. I will put these here in my living room, and then here they have time to fully cool down. Also, I just got some new seeds the other day. I have way too many seeds. I did some seed organization on the weekend because Cristo got me a seed organizer, and we have to get another seed organizer because the one I have is full already and it's like not even half my seeds. think I have a seed problem. I do want to grow a lot of varieties this year, so I'm very excited for that. And as I was talking, I just saw that they like start to fall down, so I guess the puffing up was just from the cooking process. Okay, but let's continue. So the egg bites are crossed off the list now. What I want to do next is I want to cut up the cucumber for our cucumber salad. I'm not sure yet if I will actually add the avocado because I think it might not be good anymore. I will try to use my slicing attachment from my grater. Just want to see if I can use this to make cucumber salad easier for me as well. Let's see. Oh, wow! It works. I don't know why I'm so surprised. Do you see that? They're perfectly sliced, like very thinly sliced, which I like that for cucumber salad. Oh my gosh. I will definitely be using this from here on out for cucumber salad. Oh my gosh. Amazing. That was extremely easy. I will just transfer my cucumbers in one of these deli containers already, because I will store the salad in here later on. So easy. And I will cut this cucumber now into cubes because that is what I need for the smoked chicken potato salad. And I like to cut it a few times in the length, kind of like even pieces, so like that. And then we'll cut stripes. And if I do potato salad, what I will do is I will take this middle part of the cucumber and I will set it aside, and I will just like snack on that usually because this middle part always contains a ton of water. Sometimes the salad can get kind of watery if you leave that in. Okay. Okay, that's it. Friends, oops, it almost fell out. I just tried these egg bites, or one of these egg bites. Actually, this is my second one. I ate one completely and then this is the second one. But I wanted to try it with you together again. These are so good. Let me actually take another knife. One that's a little bit more suited. And if you've watched my last video, then you know that I do not have to cry when I cut onions. I don't know if that is like a genetic thing, because I'm the only one in my family who's able to do that. So I don't know why that is, but I'm always the designated onion cutter in our family. Okay, so we just cut a whole lot of onions here. Some of these we're gonna use for our cucumber salad, a little bit for our potato salad. And then the rest I'm gonna store in my fridge to cook with them. I'm gonna use about a handful or maybe even 2 for this cucumber salad. Actually, I forgot that we need a lot of them also for the stuffed bell peppers, which is what we're gonna prep next. We just gotta see if this is still good or if it isn't, because if it isn't, then I will have to toss it probably. It has been in my fridge for quite some time. Oh no. Yeah, unfortunately that is no longer good. Okay, I'll just compost this. The way I see that if I compost something, it doesn't really truly go to waste, just because it will be part of my garden again and of what I will grow. So that way, if I compost something, it's not a complete loss. It is sad, but it's not a complete loss. And I will also compost these onion nut shells, skids. You just gotta be careful when you're composting something that's not organically grown, if you want like an organic compost, because some of the things could have pesticides on them. So what I will do is I will just scoop the inside out here and only and only put the inside of this avocado into my compost. I'll just put my cubed up cucumber and my onion into the fridge because we don't need those at the moment and I don't want them to go bad. But we are gonna hollow out our bell peppers now. Okay, and I just thought right now before we continue with the bell peppers, we should finish up this cucumber salad. I will use some creamy Greek yogurt. We'll use one, I think 2 tablespoons is enough. We will use 2 tablespoons of my favorite vinegar, about 1 or half of a tablespoon, more half, of extra virgin olive oil. We need some black pepper and some salt. Gotta be careful with that. Half a teaspoon of raw cane sugar or just white sugar if you have. We are gonna shake this now, just like we did with the marinated tomato salad last week. That way you can mix it all the way through. And we will probably have this tomorrow with the stuffed bell peppers, like on the side. And if we don't have it tomorrow, then we're gonna have it the day after because we also have like ribs that we're doing this week. So I think that would be a nice side for that as well. It looks so delicious with this Greek yogurt. Let me get like a good spoonful. Let's see. This tastes amazing. It doesn't need anything, honestly. I can just add the lid back on and put it in the fridge as it is. This is amazing. And we can continue with our bell peppers that are washed. What I do is I just cut off the top and then I cut down on the side and then just pull this out. That is so easy to hollow out a pepper. And I will just put these bell peppers in this container where I will store them when they're stuffed later on. I desperately need to process some of my garlic, like these ones here. And the ones I have in my fridge, I think I will just mince them with my food processor and then freeze them. The last thing that we're gonna do before the rest of the ingredients get here, we are gonna do some tortilla wraps. And I don't have a tortilla press, so I always use my baking pin. And we need a fresh dishcloth. And I'm gonna wet this and just flatten this. And then I will put the towel on top so it stays nice and moist. This was our second last one. And our last one is also done. I will just let these cool down in this. And while these are cooling down, I will just wash my blueberries so they are ready for us whenever we want to eat them. I really want to use these up. I love blueberries. It's just the ones from the store you have to wash really well. And I usually use sodium bicarbonate, so just regular pure baking soda for this. Regular pure baking soda for this. Sometimes my mouth is faster than my brain. I really want to try this zucchini bread with a little bit of butter. I haven't had lunch yet, so this is gonna be lunch. Ooh, it looks amazing. And this is farm butter. It's like sweet cream style butter. Oh, this looks so good. Let's try. I'm so confused right now. This smells a little bit like banana bread, and it tastes a little bit like a less sweet banana bread. I'm so confused. Maybe it's because a lot of the ingredients that I use in this zucchini bread are similar to how I make my banana bread, especially the baking soda. I don't know, but it's really good. It's really good. It's very moist as well. Wow. So I'm gonna keep it like this just because I don't want it to dry out, but I'm gonna enjoy my other slice now, and I am genuinely so happy with how this turned out. I had no idea what I was missing out on. And then I will see you again once the other grocery items have arrived and we can finish everything. I sat down for about 10 to 15 minutes and then they arrived already, and the delivery driver was super nice. He always is. Well, there are two of them and they're both extremely nice. I have ordered from that grocery store before. The grocery store is Rimi. But yeah, so I've just put the egg bites in this container here. And I'm just quickly gonna peel about, I think, 2 to 3 potatoes before we continue with the stuffed bell peppers. Okay, we're gonna cook these now for about 15 minutes. And my minced meat here, which is pretty fresh. This is also from our local butchery. Then we need our onions. We need quite a bit of onions. I would say 1, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons. Then we need 1, 2 tablespoons, I think. I usually don't measure, so that's why I don't really know right now how much I will need of everything. I just usually measure by heart, but I'm trying to give you some measurements in case you want to recreate this stuff. I'm using this souvlaki seasoning. You can also just use salt, pepper, paprika. That's perfect already. The rice will help so the meat doesn't really get that dry or compacted. And sometimes your hands can get a little bit greasy and I don't really like that feeling. So that's why I'm using a glove. Then I will take our bell pepper and stuff our meat mixture in here. And you want to really compact it down. Trust me, the meat will not get compact throughout the cooking process because we have the onions and the rice inside. It will loosen up nicely. These bell peppers that I had here today, they were kind of on the smaller side. Usually the amount of the mixture that I make is like perfect. It fits 2 larger bell peppers, but because these are kind of smaller, I will just make some meat and then put these into the sauce tomorrow. And then, like I said, we'll have them with the rice and probably some of the cucumber salad. So while we were doing that, the potatoes are cooking or were cooking away, and I think they're actually done. There are 3 minutes left on the timer, but I took out a little bit of a bigger piece. Just want to try. Oh yeah. These are done. And we can rinse our potatoes. I'm just rinsing them a little with cold water so the cooking process stops. Here are the washed blueberries. Some of these are insanely big. I don't know if it comes off like that in camera, but they're huge if you see the size of it on the palm of my hand, but they're very delicious. Okay, so the potatoes might not be ready yet for the salad. While they're cooling down, we can chop up our chicken. I love smoked things. I love smoked fish. I love smoked like meat, veggies, anything really. And I think broth from this, that would be a game changer probably. I do want to try that out. I'm not gonna do that today, but I could freeze these bones and then kind of collect them until I have time to make a broth with them. Because the bones of these chickens are not very big, so I think if I collect a few, it would be a bit better as well. I think that's a great idea. I sometimes take the skin away just because it's really hard to cut. But I will keep the skin now for my smoked chicken broth because the skin has the most smoke flavor. And now we can do the rest of the salad. Cucumber, some of these onions, not too much. I will use all of these chives that I have left from my garden last year. I hope that my chives, well, my chives are in the greenhouse, so I hope they will regrow rather sooner than later. But I am happy that we used all of them up at the same time, because it shows me that that is a product from my garden that I really use so frequently in my kitchen. Then we are gonna add quite a lot of dill, I think, but 2 good handfuls. Also from the garden. I do have a lot of dill left, but I would say that I use dill almost as much as my chives, but I have just put up more dill than chives. I think I put up like 3 or 4 large deli containers of dill. And now we need Greek yogurt. You can also do this with mayonnaise or sour cream. I'll just use Greek yogurt right now because it has less calories. 4 to 5 big tablespoons to 2 tablespoons, maybe even 3 of vinegar. If you use pickles instead of cucumbers, use a little bit less vinegar, and a lot of pepper. Not a little, a lot of pepper. Some salt. Okay, I am back. I spent some time in my greenhouse and I put some spring bulbs in some containers. They were kind of sprouting and I didn't get to them last fall, but I think I can save them because they have spent most of the time in the garage where it's kind of cold. Then I had them inside now and they started to sprout, at least some of them. And now I put them in some containers and I hope that we will have our first spring flowers soon. Doesn't this look so good? Okay, let's see. First bite. This is so good. This is perfect. Okay guys, just to sum it up, everything we did today. We cooked rice, the brown rice. We're gonna eat this with the stuffed bell peppers. Then we did our amazing smoked chicken potato salad, which I am so hyped to eat that for dinner tonight. Then we did a nice cucumber salad. We did our flour tortillas, a zucchini bread, which I know is gonna get devoured. I can't wait to make that this summer with actual garden zucchini. Then we did our stuffed bell peppers, well, we prepped them at least. Washed some blueberries and prepped egg bites. And if you've made it this far, then thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for being here and thank you for always being so supportive of me. I highly appreciate that. And if you enjoy videos like this, then please consider subscribing and never forget, you are worthy, you are loved. I hope you have the most amazing day and that something nice happens to you. And I hope to see you back on my channel next time. Bye!